Alright, so hopefully it won't freeze up on us today because I unplugged it and turned it off last period, but who knows. Okay, so our unit learning target. Unit, Blair. Unit. Says, I can use my exponent skills
Okay.
to factor a polynomial. Learning how to problem solve will help you pay the bills. Trust me. As an adult who has to problem solve every month.
Problem solve. I want to go. Okay.
Calm down. And then today's learning target says I can determine the GCF of a polynomial and factor like a ninja. So today is day 1 of your ninja training.
I thought that those pictures were.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
making this.
Is that our project?
Yeah.
So let's figure out where that child is. Yeah, hang on, let's pause.
Yeah. I'll call it. I'll say something. Okay, Asbury, hold on and let's not resume. Oh, something like
Like a cult? A math ninja cult. So today we are going to be finding the greatest common factor of a polynomial, which means we're going to have to look at numbers and variables. And it's very easy. We just need to have our exponent rules. Now, when we say that it goes into, does that mean that we divide, multiply, subtract, or add? Divide. Goes into means divide. So when we're looking at exponents, when we divide like bases, what do we do to those exponents?
You subtract.
You subtract them. So today, instead of multiplying and adding like we did last week, we're going to be dividing and subtracting. Get excited. And you have a fun doodle note to color. Everybody can be happy. Alright, so what is it? A greatest common factor. It's the biggest number. And that's what we're writing in that PAL bubble. The biggest number that divides into 2 or more numbers. Now, the greatest common factor isn't just limited to numbers, but the first part of what we're doing today, we are just going to talk about, well, kind of step 1 is about numbers. Super excited.
Oh, you gotta color your
I'm not coloring it red. I'm going to color it green. Because you told me that I have to. And I don't have to do anything but die and pay taxes.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
Well, remember guys, I'm 30. I know we seem like we're
What's your
besties.
brother's name?
Brent.
And his baby's name is Lily.
Lala Kate.
I said that the last time too.
You did. And she looks even more like me now. Yes, after the blessing. Alright, so when you are doing the greatest common factor, you start by doing this. Step 1, find the GCF of the coefficients. Are you huffing because I'm not giving you enough time to color?
No, I'm huffing because I can't hold my pencil right and it ends up aching my hand. So.
We learned that in kindergarten.
Okay, my kindergarten teacher.
Or maybe you didn't listen.
Or maybe she didn't teach me, Asbury. No, my teacher said it had to teach me how to hold freaking scissors. Yes.
I think that says more about you than your teacher.
Okay, I'm done with this slide. Anyway.
I remember I had to go to the special reading class because I could not read. I was on a third grade level.
Y'all remember when you re-listened to the videos and you were like, why did I say stuff like that?
Oh. I need more colored pens. I don't know what's always possible.
Alright, so we find the greatest common factor of the coefficients. Looking at example 1, what's the biggest number that goes into both 4 and 24?
6.
6 does not go into 4. 4 is the biggest one. Alright, so then, not only do they have numbers in common, but they also have x's in common. So how do you think we figure out how many x's they have in common? We ax them? Okay, so we're going to ax the first term how many x's he has, and he has 4, right? And then we're going to ax the second term how many x's he has, and how many does he have? He has 3. Now we're going to ax them how many do they have in common? 3. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3. Now if I had x to the 5th and x squared, how many do you think they would have in common?
2.
How do you get that?
Because we're wizards. This is bad. Times 2. There's only 2 x's that have in common with 5 x's.
How did you get that?
I don't know.
Did you take the bigger number or the smaller number?
Smaller one.
The smaller one. Do you think it's always going to be the smaller one?
Yes.
Yes, because this can't have 5 x's in it. It only has... That shouldn't be out anyway. We are forgetting the meaning of red day. And Mama's about to start keeping cell phones if they don't put them away. I understand, but they're not even supposed to be out.
I'll put it in my book.
Thank you. Okay, so step 2 is take the lowest exponent.
F1.
She says she's in the
Thank you. I appreciate you finding out.
No, there's only 2.
I literally weep for the future with some of you. Alright, and the final step, you divide. Divide. Now, you divide the coefficients. What do you do with the exponents?
Subtract.
Subtract them. Fantastic. Alright, so let's write that we subtract the exponents. I need a different color. Subtract exponents. So we're going to practice the first 2 together, and then you're going to work on your own. Do you have to talk the whole time? Do you have, like, is it a problem that y'all have to the whole time? No. Do y'all have to the whole time? Okay. Get it together. At least try to. Alright, example 1. So, we said that the biggest coefficient, thank you. I don't know what's happening over here. The biggest number that goes into both 4 and 24 is 4. Alright, now step 2 says take the lowest exponent. What's smaller, 4 or 3?
3.
So we take x cubed. Now, what's the last step? Divide. And then what do we do with the exponents?
Subtract that.
Okay, now watch this magic. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
We're going to divide both of these by our greatest common factor. This is the greatest common factor of both of these terms. So what's 4 divided by 4?
1.
Do we have to write 1?
No.
Fantastic. Now we divide the exponents. What's 4 minus 3?
1.
So we have x left. Does everybody see what happened?
You divide that exponent.
When you divide like bases, you subtract. Now,
Oh, you subtract.
what's 24 divided by 4?
6.
And as Kalia said, the x's cancel out, and we're done. That's what the answer looks like. So last week, where we started with this, and then we distributed to get to this, we're going backwards now. So factoring is going backwards. Now let's walk through it again just to make sure we're all on the same page. In the beginning, there were 2 numbers. God put those 2 numbers on that paper. God's name is Asbury. And the little minions found that the greatest common factor of those 2 numbers was 4. And God said, put that on the outside. Then the minions looked for the smallest exponent. And they determined that the smallest exponent was 3. And God said, put that on the outside.
When's the alpha coming play?
I did the second one. I hope I got it.
Alright, then you put parentheses and you divide. 4 divided by 3 is 1. 4 minus 3 is x. 24 divided by 4 is 6. And the x's cancel out because 3 minus 3 is 0. Now, let's look at example 2. Are we ready?
Yes, it's 2. Okay, nobody else. Yes, yes. No, it's not.
It is.
It is? Okay.
Why are you doubting yourself just because I'm looking at you?
I don't know. You're saying all the unknowns.
Alright, so as Maggie just said, the biggest number that goes into both 8 and 6 is 2. Do we agree or disagree?
I agree.
Now, 3 goes into 6, but it does not go into 8. 4 goes into 8, but it does not go into 6, so 2 is the only one. Now, you have to look at both variables, because both of these have both variables. What's smaller, 2 or 1?
1.
So you take out an A. Now, they both have B in common, so let's look at the B's. What's smaller, 2 or 1? So we bring out a B. Does everybody see where we got that from? Now, how do we know what sign to put in the middle?
If it has it on the outside, you gotta put it on the inside.